डेट है, प्लीज ये शादी मत करो प्लीज।
शट अप, शट अप।
तुझको रात भी वो याद है मुझको, तारे गिनते गिनते सो गया। दिल मेरा धड़का था कस के, कुछ कहा था तूने हंस के, मैं उसी पल तेरा हो गया। आसमानों पे जो खुदा है उससे मेरी यही दुआ है, चांद ये हर रोज मैं देखूं तेरे साथ में। सौदा हुआ चांदनी रात में, ओ तेरी नजरों ने कुछ ऐसा जादू किया, लुट गए हम तो पहली मुलाकात में। ओ ना ज़मीं पर जान रुक जा तू घड़ी भर, थोड़े तारे तो बिछा दूं मैं तेरे वास्ते। आज़मा ले मुझको यारा तू जरा सा कर इशारा, दिल जला के जगमगा दूं मैं तेरे रास्ते। मेरे जैसा इश्क में पागल फिर मिले या ना मिले कल, सोचना क्या हाथ ये दे दे मेरे हाथ में। कुट्टी मोहब्बत ने अंगड़ाई ली, दिल का सौदा हुआ चांदनी रात में, ओ तेरी नजरों ने कुछ ऐसा जादू किया, लुट गए हम तो पहली मुलाकात में। ओ किताबों में सब चाहता हूँ मैं, संग तेरे दोहराना कितना जरूरी है। अब मेरी खातिर तू मुश्किल है लफ्जों में कह पाना। अब तो ये आलम है तू जान मांगे तो मैं शौक से दे दूँ सौगात में। कुछ मोहब्बत दिल का सौदा हुआ चांदनी रात में, ओ तेरी नजरों ने कुछ ऐसा जादू किया, लुट गए हम तो पहली मुलाकात
朝までスマホで動画見てた。それじゃ起きられるわけがない。
全てのことに遅刻して今日もサボってしまった。カップ麺お湯を注いでそれなら寝てりゃよかった。なんてあくびしてたら麺が伸びた。何になりたい何をやりたい、いつからだろう夢を見てない。ずっとゲームしてるうちにいつしか大人になってた。みんなどこへ行ったんだ、なんでそんな忙しいの。ちょっと待ってよ、
時間はあんなにあったじゃないか。
人生の電源切られるように僕だけ大丈夫ってこと。バンされても禁止されてもダメだって言われても、もう今更違う自分になれるわけないじゃない。バンされても禁止されてもやめろって言われても、わかりました改めますって反省なんかしない。神様何かいけないんですか、どこがその基準なのか知りたい。いっぱいあった時間の砂は何もしなくても消える。僕がその気になったら何でもできると述べてた。ここで何をやってるんだ、遊んでるのは僕一人。誰か教えてよ、終わらないっていけないことなの。いきなりそう一方的に未来を視覚にされた。バンされたらどうすればいい、知らなかっただけなんだ。もう一回くらいやり直すためにチャンス与えてくれよ。バンされたらどうすればいい、見捨てるつもりなのか。バカさんでの失敗のための猶予って信じてた。神様過ちも許してください。急にそんな宣告するなんて。
眩しすぎる太陽が
崖の裾から漏れる暗闇が来るまでにはまだ間に合うだろう。バンされても禁止されてもダメだって言われても、もう今更違う自分になれるわけないじゃない。バンされても禁止されてもやめろって言われても、わかりました改めますって反省なんかしない。神様何かいけないんですか、どこがその基準なのか知りたい。状況に追い込まれても僕は絶対バンされるものか。
Have I ever told you all you to the bone? Have I ever told you when you are all alone? And if I ever forget to tell you how I feel, listen to me now, babe. I want you to the bone. I want you to the bone. Every corner in me, that's your presence the ground. Maybe I let you in by saying how I feel, but I didn't mean it before. I want you to the bone.
Congratulations to all the graduates of the Department of Asian Languages and Cultures. I'm Markus Nornes, I'm the chair of the department. It's certainly been a strange year. Who could have guessed that the climax of your college career would be a global pandemic? It's left you students and we professors literally scattered all over the face of the earth. I'm talking to you here from my home, my old home in Colorado. I've been conducting my classes from my parents' basement, growing out my COVID hair. It almost feels like a kind of time slip back to high school. I know it's been a tough year. It'll surely be the defining moment to your generation. Your professors have been incredibly impressed by the way you've rolled with it all. Honestly, it fills me with great hope for the future. This is your world now, and there's no question that Asia is going to be an increasingly important part of it. So you are poised to lead us into that future. And we've been watching you for a few years, and we know that, you're ready for it. We have every confidence in you. As you can imagine, this day, April 29th, 2021, we wanted to send you off into that so-called real world with an honest-to-God graduation ceremony. But thanks to COVID, here we are sitting in front of our screens again. Now, a year ago, when everything went totally nuts and everyone went home, I slipped into my parents' basement. We all had to retool and try to figure out how to teach effectively from afar. And our first lesson was keep it short. So while the chair usually would take this moment to give the traditional "the places you will go" speech, I'm going to stop here because your professors want to leave you with one last memory, and I hope it's a good one. Congratulations.
भारत से नमस्ते। सभी को हार्दिक बधाइयाँ इस उपलब्धि पे व आने वाले जीवन के लिए ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं।
सर्वद्रव्येषु विद्यैव द्रव्यमाहोरनूत्तमम् आहार्यत्वात् अनार्घ्यत्वात् अक्षयत्वात् च सर्वदा।
অভিনন্দন। আপনি যেখানেই থাকুন না কেন, জীবনে যাই করুন না কেন, নিজের প্রতিভায় বিশ্বাস রাখবেন। আপনার সফল ভবিষ্যৎ একান্ত কাম্য। শুভ সমাবর্তন।
Höllingagerer dem sår här hore direkten bijen har fan ganska note gossa han har garsan halbanårin jänker mel med jangda dulsen notegdan horte jonne ehen satan och jolganda.
미시간대 아시안학과 졸업생 여러분, 옛것과 새것이 공존하는 오래된 미래의 도시 서울에서 여러분의 미래를, 또 여러분의 꿈을 응원합니다.
여러분 졸업을 축하합니다. 미시간 대학교에서의 배움과 성장의 시간이 여러분의 앞길을 환히 비추기를 진심으로 기원합니다. 축하해요.
여러분의 졸업을 진심으로 축하합니다. 앞으로 좋은 일만 가득하길 기원합니다. 그리고 앞으로도 한국 영화 많이 사랑해주세요. 앞으로 꽃길만 걸으세요. 졸업 정말 축하드립니다.
สวัสดีค่ะขอแสดงความยินดีกับนักศึกษาทุกคนด้วยนะคะ
Halo semuanya, selamat atas kerja keras dan kelulusan kalian. Semoga sukses dan maju biru.
आदाब, प्यारे तलबा और तालबात, ग्रेजुएशन के मौके पर आप सभी को बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद। अल्लाह ताला आपको ज़िंदगी में कामयाबियां अता फरमाए, आमीन। शुक्रिया, खुदा हाफिज़।
Time tekba chamber temgele, ursel semki pangrim zekba yi, okmin turki tila ongerwe, namden tungun trube gelek zöl.
ਆਪ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਾਨਦਾਰ ਸਫਲਤਾ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧਾਈ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸ਼ਾਲਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਵੇਂ ਹੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਵਧਦੇ ਰਹੋ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੰਜ਼ਲਾਂ ਹਾਸਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੋ। ਢੇਰ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਦੁਆਵਾਂ ਤੇ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਇਸ਼ਾਵਾਂ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ।
Ang hindi magmahal sa sariling wika, daig pa ang hayop at malansang isda. Mabuhay Class of 2021! Yay!
Binabati ko ang lahat na magsisipagtapos ngayong taon. Nawa ay matupad ang lahat ng mga pangarap ninyo. Mabuhay kayong lahat at maraming salamat.
《望月》杜甫。岱宗夫如何？齐鲁青未了。造化钟神秀，阴阳割混淆。荡胸生层云，决眦入归鸟。会当凌绝顶，一览众山小。
我是中文部负责人李可宁。首先祝贺大家大学毕业、研究生毕业。中文是世界上最酷的语言，希望你们能够继续学中文、说中文。
大家好，恭喜每一位同学圆满地完成了大学的学业，祝福你们在今后的生活当中一切顺利，加油！
Chúc mừng các sinh viên niên khóa 2021.
Go卒業おめでとうございます。みんなのこと
応援しています。
皆さん、お卒業おめでとうございます。
皆様、ご卒業おめでとうございます。特に最近コロナ病の辛さに取り組んできて、いろいろな大変なことがたくさんあったのにもかかわらず、卒業という道に届くことができて、本当に素晴らしいことだと思います。だから皆様、できるだけ自分らしく頑張ってくださいね。
卒業生、おめでとうございます。今年よく頑張りました。成功を誇るべきだよ。では、素晴らしい未来を。
上を向いて歩こう。涙がこぼれないように思い出す春の日、一人ぼっちの夜。
種がないところには植物が生えることはないと信じてるけれど、一粒の種子に大きな信頼を寄せてる。一粒の種子を持っていれば奇跡も起こることを信じてる。Henry David Thoreau。おめでとうございます。
卒業生の皆さん、ご卒業おめでとうございます。Congratulations on your well-deserved success and best wishes on your next adventure. これからも頑張っていってください。
My name is Youngju. I'm Associate Professor of Korean Literature. And as also the Associate Chair of the department, it is my great pleasure to introduce some of our top students.
So next, we have the 4 graduating students with honors in Asian Studies in the Department of Asian Languages and Cultures, and they're going to take turns introducing the topic of their thesis. So it's all very exciting. And first, we have Yin Chao-he.
So the topic and title of my thesis paper is Fashioning Contemporary Political Leadership in the People's Republic of China. And it's a case study on Xi Jinping's cadre jacket.
Thank you so much. That's very exciting indeed. Next, we have Limmy Kim.
So the title of my thesis is The Entertainment of Divorce, and I look at the Korean reality variety show We Got Divorced and examine how a show like this came to exist today and what it represents and what its purpose is.
Thank you. And next, we have Kimiko Varna.
So the title of my thesis is The End of the Mitsubishi Zaibatsu, a study of scalp policy and opposition. And in my paper, I'm exploring the post-World War II U.S. occupation policy and opposition in Japan, and particularly how they decided to dissolve the Mitsubishi Zaibatsu, one of the largest family-owned business conglomerates at the time.
Oh gosh, wow, I can't wait to see it. Thank you. And lastly, we have Ruchi Wantete.
So my title is When Perceptions Fall Short, Understanding the Relationship Between Government and Marginalized Groups in China and India. And basically my thesis is going to be focusing on understanding the relationship between China and its ethnic minorities, as well as India and its ethnic minorities, and how different individual perceptions come into play when it comes to government implementation.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And I hope we can all join in congratulating all this great work that you've done. And yeah, luck with the rest of the semester, and congratulations.
Hello, my name is Agustini and I'm the director of the Southeast Asian Language Program. I'm pleased to call your attention to our Southeast Asian Language Award recipients for 2021. Today we recognize students in the Filipino, Indonesian, Thai, and Vietnamese language program. Our first awardee is Christopher Kelly, who is receiving the Excellence in Filipino Language Award. According to his instructor, Chris has an outstanding performance in and beyond the class. He demonstrates excellent knowledge about the lessons through exemplary written works and recitations. He makes critical points and always shows accurate and deep understanding of the topics during class discussions. His eagerness in learning the Filipino language also reflects both in his deep interest in his roots and his willingness to contribute more in its enrichment and development. He is also helpful in promoting the Filipino language and culture. He shows willingness to work on areas he feels he needs to improve and has never failed to submit his work on time despite his busy schedule. Congrats, Chris. Next, Christina Kun has been chosen to receive the Excellence in Indonesian Language Award. As one of the first-year Indonesian students, taking a language class during the pandemic and in a fully online mode is not easy. I, as her instructor, is very impressed with Christina's motivation to learn the language and cultures. Believe it or not, she is always the first student to appear on my Zoom screen. This motivation has made her go beyond what I asked in her class assignments and projects. Her intelligence and diligence pay off, as she usually receives the highest grades on tests and assignments. I hope that she continues within the Indonesian language program next year. Selamat Mbak Pristina. Our next award for excellence in Thai language goes to Jacob Longmayer. As a first-year Thai student, Jacob is an exemplary language learner. He is active, very cooperative in individual and group activities, and attentive to Thai cultures. In addition, he also encourages his peers to learn Thai. His progress has been excellent, and his instructor hopes that he will continue learning Thai next year too. ขอแสดงความยินดี Jacob. The last award for our program goes to Henry Tran, who today is recognized for the excellence in Vietnamese language. Henry Tran is completing the 4th semester Vietnamese this semester. He has a solid communication skill in Vietnamese, but he still joins the 2nd semester of Vietnamese to improve his writing skill. Henry has completed his assignments for the Vietnamese class with a final project that will be part of his graduation thesis written in Vietnamese. His instructor says that he is also an amazing master chef who is wholeheartedly committed to cuisine artwork. His cooking shows include his impressive presentation in the Vietnamese class and a recent cultural event held by the Vietnamese Student Association. Chúc mừng Henry. Once again, please join me in congratulating all the Southeast Asian Language Award recipients. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Kenning Lee, Director of the Chinese Language Program. This year, we would like to grant the Chinese Language Award to Mr. Arthur Mangozi. Mr. Mangozi has studied Chinese as an absolute beginner with us, and now has reached the intermediate high level in 3 years. He has always held the lead in the classes he attended. His perfect performance in all aspects is rare and very impressive to his instructors and classmates. He also actively partners with his classmates to help improve their Chinese. His enthusiasm and vitality for language learning deeply influence and inspire his peers to work diligently in Chinese, just as he does.
Hello, I'm Chris Hill, the Interim Director of the Japanese Language Program at the University of Michigan. I'm delighted to announce 2 awards for outstanding students in Japanese. The Japanese Language Program at the university is one of the oldest programs in North America It currently has more than 350 students. Our most advanced students routinely pass the highest level of the Japanese language proficiency test that is overseen by the Japanese Ministry of Education. Choosing only 2 outstanding students was not an easy task. Our team of 7 expert instructors consider these students to be the best of the best. The first award winner is Alexandra Ramacher. Alexandra is a double major in Asian languages and cultures. She began in the first year Japanese class and persevered all the way to the 4th year level. And she took several courses at the 4th year level. She took a summer Japanese course at Middlebury College, which helped her along the way, and volunteered at events at the university related to the study of Japanese. Alexandra passed level N2 of the Japanese language proficiency test, which is the highest level possible for 2021 graduating seniors because the test wasn't offered this year when students were normally advanced from N2 to N1. Surely Alexandra would have passed the N1 level if the test had been offered. We look forward to hearing great things about Alexandra. Congratulations, Alexandra. The second award winner is Dalton Brown. Dalton started Japanese at the University of Michigan at the 3rd year level and advanced to the 4th year level, took several courses at that level. He is a winner of the Japanese speech contest and spent 4 months teaching English in Japan. Dalton passed level N2 of the Japanese language proficiency test, and like Alexandra, surely would have passed N1 if the test had been offered this year. Congratulations, Dalton. On behalf of all of the instructors, I want to say that students in the Japanese language program worked extremely hard this year under challenging conditions. That would be putting it mildly. We're very impressed by our students' dedication, whether they were just starting out in Japanese or perfecting their skills. So good work and keep it up. Ganbare!
Hello, my name is Sayed Ali and I am the director of the South Asian Language Program. Our program is responsible for teaching 6 of the 14 foreign languages housed within the department. Today, we honor 5 outstanding students who excelled with the program this year. Emma Killary James is our 2021 Excellence in Bengali Language Award recipient. She has displayed a true passion for learning language, excelling in all of her course assignments and standing out in the classroom activities. Emma's instructor has taken note of her dedication to studying Bengali and has nominated her for this award. The Hindi Excellence Award goes to Ross Lee Bernhout. Their work within their studies so far has been quite impressive. They are dedicated, organized, and thorough students. Ross is a PhD in History of Arts. They are studying Hindi for their interest in the language and culture. We could not be happier to have them continue in our department. Anmol Gharvi, a PhD student in history, is our Excellence in Punjabi Language Award recipient. Anmol has shown great enthusiasm within the classroom this year, earning excellent grades and engaging critically with the materials. He has an interest in growing and enriching his cultural knowledge. Our excellence in Tamil language goes to Sandhya Srinivasan. She is extremely hardworking and always goes above and beyond to learn and excel in the language. Sandhya is never too afraid to step out of her comfort zone and try new activities in the class. Lastly, the Excellence in Urdu Language Award goes to Rija Rahmat Awan. She is a neuroscience major in the College of LSA who shows a maturity in her work, attends class punctually, She has been exceptionally careful student whose progress within the language this year is unmatched by her peers, garnering our nomination for this award. Please join me in applauding all of our South Asian Language Award recipients. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, my name is Soyoung Kim and I'm the director of the Korean language program. Today, I am very pleased to announce the recipient of this year's ALC Language Award for Korean. The award goes to Tamina Sultana. Congratulations. Tamina started taking Korean at U of M in the fall semester of 2018 when she was placed in second year Korean. Since then, she has taken Korean for 6 consecutive semesters, from second year Korean all the way up to fourth year Korean. Personally, I also had the pleasure of having her in my classes, such as Advanced Spoken Korean and our only service learning class called Teaching Korean in the Community. Every semester, Tamina showed dedicated efforts to improve her Korean language skills and excelled in her performance, even in those classes where many of her classmates were either Korean heritage students or had spent a considerable period of time in Korea. Tamina was always keen to learn the Korean language and culture, using every resource and opportunity she had in and out of class. And she has shown remarkable improvement over the past 3 years. This award is to recognize her hard work, dedication, and excellent achievements. Congratulations. 타미나 씨, 진심으로 축하합니다.
Thanks, everyone, and congratulations to all the Language Award winners. I want to round out this celebration of our finest students with 3 more awards, this time for studies. The first is the 6th Annual Kristen Carosella Memorial Fellowship. In April of 2013, one of our favorite students, Kristen, graduated from U of M just like you, and upon graduation, she moved to Xinjiang, China, where she taught English in a primary school. Unfortunately, Kristen passed away there on September 1st, 2014. It was a terrible shock. And with the help of family, friends, teachers, and U of M, the Kristen Carosella Memorial Fellowship was established to honor her memory and to inspire other students to dedicate time to living and teaching abroad. So the 2021 recipient is John Decker. John's nominators spoke of his strong drive and motivation, as well as his respect for cultural diversity and his eagerness to explore the world. These qualities made John stand out as the ideal ambassador for Kristen's legacy of engaged global citizenship, and we're thrilled to be able to support his move to China this summer to become an English teacher. The second award is called the Hucker, and it has 2 parts. Charles Hucker joined ALC in 1965 as a professor of Chinese. He had a distinguished career as a teacher and a scholar of imperial culture. He also served as department chair, and he retired from Michigan in 1983. Through the generosity of Professor Hucker and his wife, Merle, it's been possible to give ongoing support to students at U of M through an award that recognizes students at both the undergraduate and the graduate levels. So the undergraduate Charles and Merle Hucker Essay Prize acknowledges exceptional writing done for a Chinese studies course in our department over the past year. And this award also went to John Decker for his essay, quote, "Love does not discriminate. The interaction of state policy, social views, and LGBT music in China." His paper discusses what he calls the interplay between public policy, state censorship, traditional values, and social stigma in restricting Chinese LGBT musicians and the lack of LGBT voices in Chinese music as a result. That's a quote from John. The Charles and Merle Hucker Research Award recognizes a graduate student, also in the area of Chinese studies, and it supports them on a research trip. Raymond Su, this year's recipient, plans to conduct year-long fieldwork in 2022 for his dissertation on the contemporary religious movement of the Magatao, an Austronesian Aboriginal people living in the Pingtung Plains of southern Taiwan. He'll be looking at their political campaign for official ethnic recognition in Taiwan, as well as their religious revival. Our third award is the Philip Thomas Lincoln Jr. Memorial Fellowship. This is named after a student who received his BA from the University of Michigan in 1964 and went on to earn 2 graduate degrees at Tufts. He returned to Ann Arbor in 1975 and 76 as a visiting scholar in the Department of Economics and also in the Center for Chinese Studies. Mr. Thomas Lincoln Jr. went on to a distinguished career as a diplomat, serving in Naples, Seoul, Taipei, and Sydney, but his most treasured appointment was in China, where he served from 77 to 80 and again in 96. His life was one of service to his country, and we honors his career with an award for the best research proposal from a graduate student in Asian studies. This year, it's going to Swarnim Kari. Swarnim's dissertation focuses on 20th century prison narratives in India, especially concerning nonfiction and fictional narratives which are written in Indian prisons. She'll be using the Lincoln Fellowship to access the archives in Delhi and Lucknow, trips that would be very difficult without Philip Lincoln's legacy. She is, in fact, in India right now. Stay safe, Swarnim, and good luck. Now, you students come to us with incredible curiosity and enthusiasm to learn about Asia. And if you'll forgive a little boasting, it's ALC's great faculty that takes that enthusiasm, gifts it all kinds of knowledge and intellectual and linguistic tools, and prepares you to go back out into that world and make something wonderful of it. Now, I want to bring this section to a close by celebrating the careers of 2 of our veteran, most beloved professors who are retiring this year. The first is Laura Grande, who was actually a student here at U of M. She completed a PhD in linguistics under one of our faculty members. And she's been teaching Chinese at ALC for a quarter of a century and was a nominee for the Golden Apple Award. This is a university award for stellar teaching, judged and bequeathed by students. Laura is leaving behind all sorts of pedagogical knowledge and digital tools she helped develop. So while we're not going to bump into her in the halls and the kitchen anymore, her presence will certainly be felt for many, many years. The other professor who is retiring is Nancy Florida, who also served as the chair of the department. Nancy is a renowned scholar of Indonesia. Her work has centered on the royal archives of Java and Javanese manuscripts, and from both the colonial and the post-colonial eras. I must say her book, Writing the Past, Inscribing the Future, is a landmark in the field, and I've enjoyed teaching it to inspire students to think both about how a place like Java can reveal much about our own areas of study, and indeed our own world, and also how our narrations of history affect change, writing our futures, as she puts it. So Laura and Nancy have made enormous contributions to our department and to many of your lives as well, I know. We celebrate their careers and wish them well as they turn the next bend in their lives.
Hi everyone, my name is Allison Alexi. I'm an assistant professor in Asian languages and cultures, and it's really my pleasure and honor to introduce you to Kunisuke Hirono, the newest PhD graduate from our department. Like me, he's an anthropologist, and he's just finished a really wonderful dissertation that explores what are called alternative high schools in contemporary Japan. So these are schools that are unusual compared to mainstream schools for different reasons. And he did a year of fieldwork in 3 different schools, one that has a rhetoric of a lot of freedom that's sort of in a forest, one that is specifically focused for Korean, Japanese students, and one that is entirely online, which probably seems familiar to many of us now. So I really want to congratulate Kuni and say what a pleasure it was to work with him during his time in our program, and send all of our best wishes for his future adventures.
And now, on to our virtual processional.
りすぎた風はどこから寂しさを運んできたの。泣いたりしたその後の空はやけに透き通っていたりしたんだ。いつもは尖ってた父の言葉が今日は暖かく感じました。優しさも笑顔も夢の語り方も知らなくて全部君を真似たよ。もう少しだけでいい、あと少しだけでいい、もう少しだけでいいから、もう少しだけでいい、あと少しだけでいい、もう少しだけくっついていようか。僕らタイムフライヤー、時を駆け上がるクライマー、時のかくれんぼはぐれっこはもう嫌なんだ。嬉しくて泣くのは悲しくて笑うのは君の心が君を追い越したんだよ。星にまで願って手に入れたおもちゃも部屋の隅っこに今転がってる。叶えたい夢も今日で100個できたよ。たった一つといつか交換故障。いつもは喋らないあの子に今日は放課後また明日と声をかけた。慣れないこともたまにならいいね。特にあなたが隣にいたらもう少しだけでいい、あと少しだけでいい、もう少しだけでいいから、もう少しだけでいい、あと少しだけでいい、もう少しだけくっついていようよ。僕らタイムフライヤー、君を知っていたんだ。僕が僕の名前を覚えるよりずっと前に君のいない世界にも何かの意味はきっとあって、でも君のいない世界なら夏休みのない8月ろうよ。君のいない世界など笑うことないサンタローよ。君のいない世界など僕らタイムフライヤー、時を駆け上がるクライマー、時のかくれんぼはぐれっこはもう嫌なんだ。なんでもないや、やっぱりなんでもないや、今から行くよ。僕らタイムフライヤー、時を駆け上がるクライマー、時のかくれんぼはぐれっこはもういいよ。君は派手なクライヤー
This brings our graduation ceremonies to an end. It's been a tough year. I think it's been as tough for professors as it was for students, as it was for parents. And once in a while, because of that, I would leave my parents' basement and I'd take my students out on hikes in the mountains. I would literally lecture while hiking. And so I thought that I would end this graduation processional on a walk with you. So let's go. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I especially want to thank the parents for sending your kids to us. And I want to thank the students for just being amazing and enriching our lives. It's true, you enrich our lives, and that goes on and on. Your memories are good ones. Now, I want to leave you folks with a little quote. It's not from an Asian author, but it's from a writer that's deep in the DNA of the people of these parts. His name's Edward Abbey, and the quote's from the chapter Terra Incognita in his book Desert Solitaire. He's writing about Colorado and Utah and the canyons and our mountains, but I think you'll recognize that he's really talking about capital L life. So I'd like to leave you with these thoughts, with this quote. And first let me get past this little sketchy part. Okay. So, here's what he wrote. Benedicto. May your trails be crooked, winding, lonesome, dangerous, leading to the most amazing views. May your mountains rise into and above the clouds. May your rivers flow without end, meandering through pastoral valleys, tinkling with bells, past temples and castles and poets' towers, into a dark, primordial forest where tigers belch and monkeys howl, through miasmal and mysterious swamps, and down into a desert of red rock, blue mesas, domes and pinnacles and grottos of endless stone, and down again into a deep, vast, ancient, unknown chasm where bars of sunlight blaze on profiled cliffs, where deer walk across white sand beaches, where storms come and go, and lightning clangs upon high crags, where something strange and more beautiful and more full of wonder than your deepest dreams waits for you, beyond that next turning of the canyon walls.